Hi everyone, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Maths with Sonia Ratra. Today we have lecture 1 on linear equations. So, the topic for today's session is, of course, linear equations, but along with that, we will be discussing permissible rules for solving the equations with examples. So let's have the introduction first. The word linear equation is made up of two words, linear and equation. As you can see in the word linear, a word is hidden and that word is line. So, linear word has come from the word line, which means it is an equation of line. Now, what does this mean? This means that when this equation is plotted on a graph paper, we will get a straight line. So, it is an equation having one or more than one variables of order 1. As you can see, we have x plus 4 is equal to y, where you can see the variable x. And one more equation I have where we can see 5x minus 3y is equal to 7, and we have two variables hidden in it, that is x and y. Now the word equation, as you can see, the hidden word in it is equate, which means equal. So the word equation has come from the word equal. So in every linear equation, we will come across the equal to sign. For example, we have x plus 4 is equal to 5. Here, as you can see, we have is equal to sign. If this is equal to is not there, then it is not an equation. Equation means you have a left hand side and you have a right hand side and both the sides are equal. Then only we will use the word equation. If is equal to is not there, then it is not an equation, it is an expression. Suppose I have x plus 4, that's all. Then it is an algebraic expression. But if we write x plus 4 is equal to 5, then it becomes an equation. So, in your syllabus, we have linear equation of order 1. So, we are going to discuss this only. Otherwise, we have simultaneous linear equation, quadratic equations that will be studied later on. But this is the beginning part of linear equation, where we will only restrict ourselves to linear equations having one or more variables of order 1. An algebraic equation is a statement that has two expressions and are equal. As you can see, x plus 4 is equal to x minus 9. If two expressions are there and they both are equated, then it becomes an equation. And a linear equation, whenever you see linear equation, you understand you will be having a left hand side and a right hand side and both are equal. Now next we will discuss is about solution or root. You might have read many times solution, but you might not have read the word root. Literally they both mean the same. Root does not mean square root or cube root. Here the meaning of root is solution. Suppose I say 3 is the root of the given expression, then it means 3 is the solution of the given expression. That means the value 3 satisfies the given equation. So solution or root means the same thing. They are the values of the variable in the given expression. Any value or values of the variable or variables. As you saw, we were having two equations, x plus 4 is equal to 5 and 5x minus 3y is equal to 7. So in the first case, we will have only one value, but in the second case, we will have two values. So any value or values of the variable or variables, which when substituted in an equation, makes its both sides, left hand side and right hand side, equal is a solution or root of the equation. So, with an example, let us make it more clear. So, here we have an expression or linear equation given as 2x minus 1 is equal to 9. This is the equation given. Now, if I substitute the value x is equal to 5 in the given equation, see what we will prove. Now, as you can see, we have 2x minus 1 is equal to 9, which means 2x minus 1 is on our left hand side and 9 is on our right hand side. So, whenever you have to prove something, whether this answer is correct or not, we are proving over here. So, what we will do? We will take one of the side and reach the other side. And when we finally are able to reach the other side, then this is correct. And if we are unable to reach the other side, suppose I substitute x is equal to 5 in the left hand side and I don't get 9, that means x is equal to 5 is not a solution or root of the given equation. And if on substituting x is equal to 5 in left hand side I am able to reach the right hand side, then it means x is equal to 5 is a solution or the root of the given equation. So, let's start. Here we have the left hand side 2x minus 1. Here 2x means 2 into the value of x. So, here we have 2 into 5 minus 1, which becomes 10 minus 1, and it is 9. And what is 9? 9 is your right hand side. That means we started with left hand side and reached the right hand side. So, what is the conclusion drawn? The conclusion is 5 is a solution or root of the equation 2x minus 1 is equal to 9. Now, let us discuss some permissible rules for solving an equation. The first one says we can add the same number or expression to both sides of an equation. So, what we are doing in this, we are adding a same number on both sides. That means in the left hand side as well as in the right hand side. Let's see with an example. Suppose I have x minus 3 is equal to 7. Now, I want to remove this minus 3 so that in the left hand side I can have only x. So, to remove minus 3, I have to introduce plus 3 in this equation, in that also in the left hand side. But whatever I do in the left hand side, I have to do it in the right hand side also. It is just like a beam balance. When the pointer is vertical, we understand that both the pans are balanced. Suppose I add something to one of the pans, then the same thing I have to do on the other pan also. Suppose I add more weight in one of the pans, then I have to add more tomatoes or whatever in the other pan to keep the pointer balanced, to keep the pointer vertical. So, here also is equal to says that left hand side is equal to right hand side, and if I am introducing something in the left hand side, I have to introduce the same thing in the right hand side also. Now, what I am introducing in the left hand side? Plus 3. Plus 3 is the need of the question because I am having minus 3 which I want to remove from here. So, to remove minus 3 I am adding plus 3. So, whatever I am doing in the left hand side, the same thing I will do in the right hand side, just like this. So, see, to remove minus 3 I have introduced plus 3. It is just opposite and they will cancel each other. They will cancel each other. But whatever I have done in the left hand side, I have introduced plus 3. So, I have introduced plus 3 in the right hand side also. Now, in the left hand side, plus 3 minus 3 gets cancelled, and what I am having here? Straight away the value of x, which is 10. Because in the right hand side, I am having 7 plus 3. So, these steps can be made more simple in the following way. Let us see. Now, we will not introduce plus 3 both sides. What we will understand? The same question, x minus 3 is equal to 7. Now, I want to have the value of x only. I want to remove minus 3. So when this minus 3 is transposed, or better to say it is transferred to the other side, its sign will change. This is how we will understand. So next I have x is equal to, because minus 3 I have taken from the left hand side and added in the right hand side. So x is equal to 7 plus 3, and thereby I get the answer x is equal to 7. You can solve an equation this way also, and I recommend to solve in this way. Instead of introducing, cancelling, it is wastage of time. You should commit it to your memory that a thing which is getting subtracted will go to the other side, or better to say it is transposed to the other side with change in sign. So if minus 3 goes that side, it will become plus 3, and here because I have removed minus 3 from the left hand side, I am left only with x, but this minus 3 goes the other side and becomes plus 3, and here I have the value of x as 10. Now the second rule, we can subtract the same number or the expression to both sides of an equation. Let us understand with an example. Suppose I have x plus 4 is equal to 5. Now I know that I want to find the value of x. So what I want to do, I want to remove plus 4. Now to remove plus 4, naturally I have to introduce minus 4 in the left hand side. And as you know, whatever we are introducing in the left hand side, the same thing we have to introduce in the right hand side also. So if minus 4 is introduced in the left hand side, minus 4 will be introduced in the right hand side also. So by doing this, what happens? Minus 4 plus 4 gets cancelled. This is what we wanted. That's why we introduced minus 4, so that in the left hand side we can have only x. Now what I have in the left hand side, only x, but in the right hand side has got affected. Now it is no longer 5, it is 5 minus 4. So the answer becomes x is equal to 1. Now children, instead of doing this way, you can understand in one more way also, and that way is, suppose you have x plus 4 is equal to 5 and you want to remove plus 4 from here. So when a number is removed from one side and it is transposed to the other side, transferred to the other side, its sign changes. So what we are going to do is, we will keep in the left hand side only x, but plus 4 will go to the other side and become minus 4, like this. X is equal to 5 minus 4, and here I have the value of x as 1. So once again I will recommend this method to be followed while doing sums in the copies or during the exams. Now the third rule says, we can multiply both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number or expression. Yes, because if I multiply by a 0, the expression will itself become a 0. That's why they have said multiplying both sides by same non-zero number. So let's see. Suppose I have x upon 10 is equal to 4. Now as you can see, I don't want that upon 10, x divided by 10. It is x divided by 10, and I want to remove that 10. So to remove that 10, I have to multiply with the left hand side 10. So that 10 gets cancelled with 10. So what I have done over here, I have multiplied left hand side with 10. So the same thing I will do on the right hand side also. I will multiply 4 by 10. Why I am doing this? To maintain equality. So the next step is, I have multiplied both the sides by 10. Left hand side I have done intentionally because I want to remove that 10 from the denominator. But right hand side will be affected. Now let's see. 10 gets cancelled with 10, and I am left with just x on the left hand side, but the right hand side becomes 40. It can be understood in one more way, and that way is, suppose I again get x upon 10 is equal to 4. Now I want to remove 10 which is in the denominator. In a way you can say it is getting divided by x. Okay, 10 is getting divided, x is getting divided by 10. So if it goes to the other side, it will get multiplied. I told you, you have to reverse the sign. If you want to remove plus 3, it will go and become minus 3, and if you want to remove minus 3, it will go and become plus 3, and if you want to remove divided by 10, it will go and the other side and become multiplied by 10, and here I have the value of x as 40. Again I recommend this method. Now this is the last. We can divide both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number or expression. Again, why same non-zero they have said? Because if I divide a number or an equation by a zero, it is undefined. Okay, so that's why non-zero is important in this to write. So let's take an example. Suppose I have 5x is equal to 10 and 5 is getting multiplied with x, and I want to remove that 5. So what I have to do? The need of the question is I have to introduce upon 5 in this 5x, so that 5 and 5 gets cancelled. But whatever I am doing in the left hand side, the same thing I have to do in the right hand side also. So here I have 5x has been divided by 5. The same thing we will do the other side also. 10 also will be divided by 5. Now in the left hand side what happens? 5 gets cancelled with 5. That's why we introduced 5, to cancel that 5, and so that we may have only x on the left hand side. Now what I have? X in the left hand side, but in the right hand side has got affected. 10 divided by 5 gives me 2. So the answer is 2. Now this same question can be done in one more way, and that way is, suppose I have 5x is equal to 10 and I want to remove 5 from here. So what I have to do? 5 is getting multiplied. So if it goes to the other side. If it is transposed to the other side, it will get divided. I told you the sign will reverse. The sign will reverse. If it is getting multiplied with x, it will go and get divided, and if it is getting divided with x, it will go and get multiplied. So here we have straight away the value of x is equal to 10 upon 5, and I have x is equal to 2. So again I recommend the solutions which are on my right hand side, because they are more right. This is on my left hand side, it is nowhere wrong, but it is lengthy, unnecessary introducing and then cancelling. Instead of that, we can switch that number whichever we don't want to the other side, but remembering that the sign will change. If it is plus, it will become minus, and if it is minus, it will become plus. If it is getting divided, it will get multiplied, and if it is getting multiplied, it will get divided. I hope you have understood. Most important point is that a term may be transposed from one side of the equation to the other. As you can see, I have transposed 10 to the other side, I have transposed 5 to the other side, but what you have to remember, that its sign will change. Plus will become minus, minus will become plus, multiply will become divide, and divide will become multiply. Now there are some steps to be followed to solve linear equations in one variable. Let us discuss one by one, and along with that step we will keep on solving some relevant questions related to the point being discussed. So let's have here. The first point says that simplify both sides by removing brackets first and collecting like terms. So before I make you understand this whole sentence, let me take an example where brackets are there. Here we have a question. In the left hand side I have 3 into 2x minus 1. 3 is being multiplied with a bracket. Inside the bracket I have 2x minus 1, and in the right hand side I have 5 minus, and inside the bracket 3x minus 2. Now the first thing I will do is I will remove the bracket, but when I will remove the bracket, I have to follow how to remove, what change it will bring. Don't just remove the brackets, you have to see what is next to it, because if a digit is there, we will multiply that digit with every term of the bracket, and if some sign is there, we will multiply that sign with every term of the bracket. And you have to be careful if minus sign is there, because if minus sign is there, it will change the sign of each and every term inside the bracket. Let's see. First of all, we will open the brackets. For that, what we will do, in the left hand side, 3 will be multiplied with each and every term of the bracket. So we have here 3 2s are 6 x and minus 3 1s are 3. So in the left hand side I have 6x minus 3, but in the right hand side 5 is separate, 5 will come as it is, but outside the bracket I can see minus sign, and as I told you, minus will change the sign of each and every term. So in the bracket I have 3x minus 2, but when it comes outside the bracket it will become minus 3x plus 2. Now what is the next step we will do? We will collect the like terms. See, this is what was written in the sentence. Simplify both sides by removing brackets. That we have done. Now the second thing they have told is collect all the like terms together. So I will collect all the variables on the left hand side and all the constants on the right hand side. By doing this, we have collected actually like terms on the left hand side and like terms on the right hand side, because in the right hand side I have all the constants and in the left hand side I have all the variables. The variable part is also same, both are x, 6x plus 3x, and being like terms they will get added. So next step is collecting the like terms and then adding the like terms. I get 6x plus 3x as 9x, and 5 plus 2 plus 3 becomes 10. So the value of x, I told you, when 9 goes the other side, 9 is getting multiplied. If it goes to the other side, it will get divided. So the value of x is 10 upon 9, which means the value of x is 1 by 9. I have converted improper fraction into mixed fraction. The next step is remove fractions or decimals by multiplying both sides by the LCM of the fractions or a power of 10 in each case of the decimals. So in this point, fractions and decimals are discussed together. We will do one by one. First, let's take a question in which only fractions are there. Then next we will take a question in which decimals are there. What they have suggested us to take the LCM of the fractions, and in case of decimal they have said a power of 10 in each case. You have to multiply both sides. So let's start. First of all, let's take fractions. Here we have a question where in the left hand side I can see a fraction x minus 1 with a big upon and then 3. In the right hand side I have a fraction x plus 2, that complete x plus 2 is the numerator, upon we have 6, and plus 3 is separate. So actually there are 3 terms, x minus 1 upon 3, then we have x plus 2 upon 6, and then we have plus 3, of course separated by is equal to sign. Now what we have to do, we can see in the numerator only 2 terms, 3 and 6. So we will take the LCM of the denominators and then multiply the LCM by each and every term present in the expression. So here we have the LCM as 6. Now what we will do, the first term is x minus 1 upon 3. We will close x minus 1 in bracket, because 6, the term which I am introducing, the LCM which I am introducing, I am multiplying each and every term of the given expression by 6. So 6 has to be multiplied with both the terms. Don't just write 6x minus 1, it is wrong. 6 into, in the bracket, x minus 1. This is the correct notation. And see the right hand side also I do the same thing. 6 into, we will close x plus 2, because it is the numerator. The complete numerator has to be multiplied with 6. So I have to introduce this bracket and outside 6, and then we have plus 3 also into 6. So as you can see, LCM has been multiplied with every term. In the first term we can see 6, in the second term we can see 6, and in the third term also 3 into 6. Now because in the denominators we have selected LCM of the denominator. The term which is getting multiplied is actually the LCM of the denominators. They will cancel for sure. So what we have in the next step, 3 and 6 gets cancelled and we have 2 in the numerator. In the second part, 6 gets cancelled with 6. So there is no number now. It is 1 left. And the third part, it's just 3 into 6. Now the next step will be, now 3 and 6 got cancelled by 2. So I am left with 2 into a bracket x minus 1. and this side I have just x plus 2 because 6 has got cancelled, and 3 6 is 18. Now we will open the brackets. Now in the right hand side it is just x plus 2, it will come as it is without the bracket. If I remove, it doesn't affect the result because outside the bracket I don't have minus sign. It is the first term x plus 2, so we will just remove the bracket. And in the left hand side I can see 2 is outside a bracket having x minus 1. So 2 will be multiplied with both the terms. So here I have 2 into x is 2x, and then 2 into minus 1 will give me minus 2. So in the left hand side I have 2x minus 2, and this side I have x plus 2 plus 18. So the next step is what? Bringing all the like terms together. So I will bring all the variables on the left hand side and all the constants on the right hand side. So we have to follow the permissible rules which we discussed. Minus 2 in the left hand side, I am removing minus 2 from the left hand side because I have thought of taking all the constants to the other side. So minus 2, if it goes to the other side, it will get added. It will be written as plus 2. And this x which is in the left hand side, I want to bring it to the right. X which is in the right hand side, I want to bring it to the left hand side. Its sign I have to change. Plus 6 plus x will become minus x. So see how we have written. Collecting like terms we have done. We are doing over here 2x, along with that plus x from the right hand side. When it comes this side, it becomes minus x, and already we are having 2 plus 18, which has become 20. To 20 we will add 2. Why we are adding 2? Because from the left hand side I have removed minus 2. When minus 2 comes this side, it becomes plus 2. So the next step, we will simplify. 2x minus x is x, 20 plus 2 is 22. So this is my answer. And see, in all these steps what you have been doing, you are bringing all the variable terms on one side, all the constants on the other side. Then finally only variable has to be kept on the left hand side. That means all the numbers connected with the variable part has to be transposed to the other side. Okay. So in the end I should have only x left, and in the right hand side a constant. Now let's take an example of decimal, because I promised you we will discuss fractions and decimals separately. So here I have a decimal, but I will solve it by two ways. First, I will take it as decimal only. Suppose your command over calculation is good, you can go as it is. Second method is also there, where we will convert decimal into a fraction. Let's go forward. First, we'll open the brackets. We are taking it as it is. We are not changing decimal into a fraction. Okay. So 0.3 outside a bracket, 6 minus x. 6 minus x is inside the bracket. The same thing we have in the right hand side also. Inside the bracket we have x plus 8, and it is getting multiplied with 0.4. So we will multiply each and every term of the bracket in the left hand side with 0.3, and in the right hand side each and every term in the bracket, that is x plus 8, will be multiplied with 0.4. So let's multiply. Here I have, when 0.3 is multiplied with 6, I get 1.8, and 0.3 when it is multiplied with minus x, it becomes minus 0.3x. The same the other side also. 0.4 into x gives me 0.4x, and 0.4 into plus 8 will give me plus 3.2. Now the next step will be collecting all the like terms together. So I have brought all the constants on the left hand side. 1.8 was already here. In the right hand side I have plus 3.2. So plus 3.2, when it comes the other side, it becomes minus 3.2. The same thing happens with the variable part also. 0.4x is already in the left hand side. So when minus 0.3x is brought to the other side, it will become plus 0.3x. So let's solve them. Because in the left hand side I have like terms, right hand side also have like terms. So when they are added, 1.8 minus 3.2 gives me minus 1.4. In the right hand side I have 0.7x. So now I will remove that 0.7 also from the x. So it is getting multiplied with x. So when it goes to the other side, it will get divided. So I am now left with x is equal to minus 1.4 upon 0.7. Points gets cancelled with point, and I am left with minus 14 upon 7, which is 7 gets cancelled, and I am having minus 2. Now we will do the same question by one more method, and that method is all the decimal parts will be changed into fractions. Let us see how to solve this. This is one more method. The same question has been written with 0.3 and 0.4. Now we will convert the decimal into fraction. This is the first step we will do. So 0.3 becomes 3 upon 10, rest part is as it is, and in the right hand side 0.4 becomes 4 upon 10. Sorry, it is not 3 upon 10, it is 4 upon 10. In the next step, what we are seeing, that 10 gets cancelled with 10. This is also one of the methods. If you have same numbers on the left hand side and right hand side, 10 gets cancelled with 10, and I am left with 3 into 6 minus x is equal to 4 into x plus 8. Now this is as it is, which we have already discussed. 3 will be multiplied with each and every term of the bracket. In the left hand side, 4 will be multiplied with every term of the bracket, and that means we are opening the bracket. So it becomes 18 minus 3x is equal to 4x plus 32. Next step will be collecting all the like terms together. So here I have 18. With 18 I have brought plus 32 from one side to the other side, so it becomes minus 32. Similarly, minus 3x, if it goes to the other side, it will become plus 3x. Next I have minus 14 is equal to 7x, and finally x becomes equal to minus 14 upon 7, whereby we get the value of x as again minus 2. Both the methods are okay. Whichever you are convenient can go forward. You can continue with the decimal part as it is if you are comfortable with decimal. Otherwise, one more option is there. You can convert decimal into a fraction. Then you by chance here 10 was getting cancelled. If I have 10 and 100, then again you have to take LCM and all. You have to cancel 1 0. We will see those questions whenever we come across those questions, and accordingly we will solve. But if you see on the left hand side a fraction, right hand side a fraction, and if you see same denominator, then this is called cancellation rule. You can cut 10 by 10. Suppose I have 3, 4 or 5, any term in the denominator left hand side, and the same denominator or a multiple of that denominator I can cancel the denominators. Now next is cross multiplication. This is also an important method, or you can say step, in solving linear equations. Suppose you see two fractions on the left hand side and right hand side. Left hand side you should have a pure fraction, a single numerator upon a single denominator. Single means it can be binomial also. A binomial with a big upon, the complete binomial should be the numerator upon a denominator, anything like that. And that means a fraction in the left hand side and a fraction on the right hand side. Suppose you see it like this, you have to go for cross multiplication. Let us see. Suppose I have a upon b is equal to c upon d. Now I have to cross multiply, so I have to mark a cross. A will match with d and c will match with b, like this. A will cross and come down to d. That means a and d will be multiplied. Cross multiply. That means we have to cross and multiply a with d and b with c, and both the terms will be written in the numerator. So it will become AD and is equal to BC. Let's see. But you can write either way. AD is equal to BC or BC is equal to AD. Doesn't make any difference. Now let us take some heavy numbers like this. AX plus B upon CX plus D is equal to M upon N. Here also we will follow the cross multiplication. That means AX plus B will be multiplied with N, and Cx plus d will be multiplied with n. Can you see the cross? Yes. So next step will be ax plus b closed in bracket. Whenever you have a binomial and you have come to know that it has to be multiplied with a number or a variable, then you have to close that binomial in a bracket and then put multiplication sign. The same goes the other side also. Cx plus d will be closed in bracket and then multiplied by n. Let's solve an example. Let's take a question and solve and understand it in a better way. Now here also, if I cross multiply, 6 minus x will be multiplied with 3 and x plus 8 will be multiplied with 4. Yes, here we have x plus 8 is multiplied with 4 is equal to 6 minus x is multiplied with 3. Here we have used cross multiplication. Now nothing is left, nothing is new to you now. We have to open the brackets. Of course, 4 we multiplied with each and every term. That's why we closed in bracket. We closed that binomial in a bracket so that we can understand 4 has to be multiplied with each and every term. So 4x plus 32, this side we have 18 minus 3x. Next step will be collecting all the like terms together. So on the left hand side I am having all the x's. How? 4x is already on the left hand side, let it be there only. Minus 3x in the right is in the right hand side. So when I bring it to the other side, it will become plus 3x. 18 is already in the right hand side, we'll keep it as it is, and plus 32 which is on the left hand side, when it goes to the other side it becomes minus 32. And next I have 7x is equal to minus 14. I have simplified, I have added like terms. Now what I am having with me, x is equal to minus 2. So here we come to the end of the session. So thank you children and God bless you. Keep trying to solve more and more questions based on linear equations. The more you do, the more you will understand. The better understanding you will develop for linear equations. Thank you and God bless you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates.